We're gonna ask Samir, world-ranked pro bodybuilder, his theory on high volume versus low volume training. I've been training with Aaron Reed for the last month, doing high intensity, low volume training. There's only about 3 working sets that go to failure. Each set lasts about 2.5 minutes or to 3 minutes with drop sets, rest pause, static contractions, but it's a very high intensity and very short period of time. Samir, I know that you do higher volume training. I want to know what your theory is on in contrasting his style of training with your higher volume style of training, and why you think that higher volume compared to Aaron Reed works for you, and whether you think it would work for me.
It's a pretty simple answer to a more complex question, to be honest. When I started to train, I also used low volume training. My theory was get in, fuck shit up, get out, basically. I used heavy weights, I did lower reps, fewer sets, maybe like 1 or 2 sets per exercise, all of them to fail, and like anything between 6 and 8 reps. Which is very good in the beginning, the first few years, when you actually will grow by doing anything. You will get out the most results with the shortest possible time in the gym, basically. So yeah, I'm actually for low volume training in the first few years of your gym career. But as you progress, as you build size, as you get stronger, you reach a point where it's basically impossible to increase the weight every week. I mean, if you start squatting 400 pounds, 500 pounds, and then you should increase that weight every week, you reach a point where you actually put yourself to more danger than is productive. So for me, it's more about a safety thing, and also it's a way to increase the intensity. It's an intensifying technique, basically, to do higher volume training with more sets, more reps, and actually try to contract the muscle more efficiently. So basically, the reason why I do high volume training is because it minimize the risk of injury. It lets you use less weight, and you get out the same hypertrophy just by doing more reps and more sets instead. And also you learn how to contract the muscle better, because with a lower weight you get a better muscle-mind connection. And the most important thing is that you stay injury-free, because you don't have to push the weights each week. Instead of putting like 10 extra pounds each week on each exercise, you can do 1 more rep, or maybe you do the same amount of reps but you add 1 more set. So instead of doing 3 sets, you do 4 sets with the same amount of reps. So the reason why I do high volume training is because it's safer, and at this point in my career, I'm not here to break any records. I'm here to try to get out the most hypertrophy as possible of each workout. So yeah, it's a little bit more demanding, I would say, psychologically, to do high reps training, especially for back and legs, because it produces a lot of lactic acid, which makes you feel a little bit sick. But the benefits of doing a high volume training compared to low volume training, when you get bigger and stronger, is far more than the negatives. So stick to high volume if you've been training for 5 to 10 years seriously, and I think it could benefit anyone, especially people who have injuries, who have joint pains or stuff like this. So yeah, stick to high volume training. That's my tip.